Welcome. You have successfully checked into your abundance timeline.
Hi, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Karyn Medeiros, in case you are new here. And today we're talking about rich girl boundaries. Rich girl boundaries is like the new wealth strategy to use to stop losing money, relationships, and success. And so I want to just go over exactly kind of what rich girl boundaries are and how you need to set them if you want to live this rich girl identity. Okay. You can't attract a new life with old standards and no boundaries, right? That totally makes sense because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you tolerate. And that's why we need to put in rich girl boundaries. Boundaries need to be in place. Now, these are rich girl boundaries. I know that you know what boundaries are, but I want to teach you some rich girl boundaries to put into place, which will help you build your wealth identity, your wealth strategy. Okay. Boundaries must be put in place if the life that you want requires more space, more focus, more energy, more clarity. And without boundaries, all of that just gets leaked. And now everything that you have been working towards, getting further, everything that you've been working towards will get further and further away. And then guess what? You're now in the same boat as before. So I don't want you to think of boundaries as restrictions, okay? Because they're not. Boundaries are actually not for other people. Boundaries are for yourself. They're about having self-respect for yourself. Self-respect for yourself, energy protection. Boundaries are made to protect your energy and to help you truly live in alignment with the life that you really want, right? So we need to create some rich girl boundaries to stop your energy from leaking into places that it actually doesn't belong. So every time you say yes, when you mean no, which a lot of us do, that is leaking your energy. Every time you over explain to somebody, well, why am I over explaining this over and over again? You are leaking your energy. Every time you tolerate what drains you, guess what? You are leaking your energy and you're giving your power away by allowing your energy to leak. And we need power. Power is what builds confidence, leadership, money, success, happiness, all of it. And so you can't attract this life that you're visualizing that you're just like, dying to absolutely live. You can't attract that life while you're constantly operating from depletion and allowing people to drain you and drain your energy. So, boundaries, rich girl boundaries, are how you protect the energy that builds your rich girl life. Okay. So, rich girl boundaries create your identity of, oh, I trust myself. So now every boundary that you set is a message to yourself. It says, I matter, my time matters, my energy matters. And when you do this, this builds self trust. And now that you trust yourself, what happens? You often make clearer decisions. You follow through more on things. You don't keep second guessing yourself because you have that self trust. You stop looking for permission from others because you don't give a fuck. And you start to move differently. You start to move with confidence and certainty. And so these rich girl boundaries create safety. When we do that, they start creating safety for expansion, personal, business, whatever. Like expansion of like whatever it is that you want, you can expand into. Because our nervous system cannot grow into chaos. Our nervous system has one job and one job only, and that is to keep us safe. Our nervous system is not here to get us rich. It is literally to keep us safe. And so we can't grow if our nervous system is in chaos, right? Because it's just trying to keep us safe. So when your life is filled with constant reacting to stupid people, you're always an emotional mess, right? You're an emotional mess over stress, and then your body goes into fear. You fear your body stays while you're in fear, your body stays in survival mode. And survival mode is not where expansion happens. When you are in survival mode, it does one thing and it blocks it. It blocks any type of um, goodness, I guess, to come in. So, what happens if your body is in safe mode instead of survival mode? Your nervous system opens up and lets you dream bigger because your nervous system is not trying to protect you anymore. It's in safe mode, it's not in survival mode anymore. So now it's open. You start to take bolder actions. So you start to dream bigger now because you're open. And when you start to dream bigger, you start to make bolder actions, right? Bolder decisions. And when you start to make bolder decisions, what happens? You allow more in. And if you're allowing more in, then you start to receive. And you start to receive without feeling guilty. So when you have the right rich girl boundaries in place, you're telling your body it's safe to expand. And then your environment all around us responds. You're no longer attracting chaos. You're no longer attracting shitty and draining relationships, no longer attracting scarcity or fear. And then everything switches. And so now your environment starts to respond to you. So you start meeting new people who have, the same goals or values of you as you. And then all of a sudden you're surrounded by these incredible women, incredible friendships, opportunities are showing up more often that you're excited about. And then all of a sudden you're sitting in a room full of women who are all supporting you and cheering you on because why? They are genuinely happy for you. So the right things don't arrive by accident. They arrive because you're no longer available for the wrong ones. And I want you to stop this and I want you to write that down. The right things don't arrive by accident. They arrive because you're no longer available for the wrong ones. And that is you stepping into the rich girl boundary, right? You're no longer available for those wrong ones to come in. Some of you may think that boundaries, creating certain boundaries are selfish. They are not. They are absolutely necessary. Boundaries are not meant to push people away. They're meant to pull in your future closer. So if you're a little confused around how boundaries work, I want you to get that straight. Boundaries are not to push people away. They are to pull your future closer. And so if you don't set up rich girl boundaries, you will build your dreams around everybody else. And where does that get you? Nowhere. It gets you into the same place that you are in now. So I want you to ask yourself, where do I have boundary issues? Okay. If you feel drained after certain conversations with a certain someone, that's a boundary issue, right? If you feel resentful, doing things that you agreed to, even though you're like, I agreed to this, but you still feel resentful, there is a boundary issue there. You're anxious when somebody calls or texts and you're just like, oh my God, that is a boundary issue. Or a big one is guilty for wanting space. That is there's a boundary there. I share all the time that I used to feel guilty for wanting my own space. So I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have two boys, and they are very boy and very active. And I run my own business, I run the household. I do a lot. I am dependent. I am dependent on quite a bit. Mom. Karyn. And so I realized that I just needed to set a boundary. And that boundary for me is I just needed to recharge. I just needed to recharge for like 15 minutes. That's it. And so I know that at some point throughout the day, I just need to go find space for 15 minutes and I just need to recharge. I am an introvert. A lot of people think I'm an extrovert. I'm social, but I am an introvert. And if I don't recharge myself and I don't step into that boundary, then um, it's not good. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for people around me. It's not good for my family, and it's not good for me because my body is always going to be in that survival mode. And so just taking 15 minutes, and I've made it very known to my family of like, I'll be back. I'll be back. I just need 15 minutes. And it's not about pushing people away. It's about pulling it in, my boundary in for me. I just need to recharge and I am good to go. And I know that a lot of women, especially mothers, feel this. And I don't want you to feel guilty anymore. Maybe you're only going to need 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Just you figure that out, but don't feel guilty for it. So I want um, you to just notice one boundary, like one moment where you really, you're like, okay, like I need to fix this. Maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it is the resentment, whatever it is. I want you to just like pause and I want you to figure out how you can set that new rich girl boundary. Okay. So think of, is there anyone who drains me? Is there conversations that drain me? Are there commitments that drain me? The content that I consume, social media. I'm sure I know that sometimes that just drains me. Is that what's draining me? Expectations that you feel pressured to meet. And then ask yourself, like, if you're like, yeah, there's people, there's conversations, there's commitments, there's all types of stuff. There's something there that I need to fix or change. If you didn't change any of those, where now you have a list and you're like, yeah, she drains me, I'm resented because of this. If you didn't change any of those, what would that cost you in 6 months? And if you did change some of those, even one or two of those, what would that then cost you in 6 months? So one is going to be not that great, and the other one is probably going to be like it's it's going to make you happier. Okay? So if this episode hit something for you, and you're realizing, how much energy, money, clarity, resentment, leaks through, they are leaking through your invisible boundaries, then I want to invite you to get inside the Rich Girl Vault. So the vault isn't another course. It's not another program that you're going to have homework and you just, you got to go through and watch all of these modules. The um, the Rich Girl Vault is a vault where it is filled with wealth identity tools to help you become the woman who naturally holds more. And the first step is setting up those rich girl boundaries. You'll find identity tools around boundaries, standards, receiving, money safety, decision making, all of it. All of it. So I want rich girl boundaries to stop being a concept, right? Of like, okay, yeah, that's a good concept. And I want you to start becoming how you live. Right? This isn't about like fixing yourself. You just need the right identity environment. Okay. So that's what this exercise, this rich girl boundaries exercise is going to do for you. And if you're like, just give it to me all, that's the Rich Girl Vault. That is where you will find all your wealth identity tools. And so you can go in there at any time and find a tool for wealth. You can find a tool on health. You can find a tool on money, on how to, all of it is geared, to create your rich girl life. So I will leave the link for that down below in the show notes somewhere. But other than that, I want you to, if you don't do anything, I want you to at least take one boundary that you know that you need to set. And remember, the boundary is to pull your future closer to you. It is not to, throw people away. I mean, sometimes you might have to, but that's not really what it is. It's not about being cold and cutting people off. It's like, how do I lock myself into this beautiful boundary for myself so that I can live the life that I truly want to live and the life that you truly do deserve. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you again for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Ciao.